My beloved soul, every tear you shed has been collected with care and love. I see you. I see you in the moments when loneliness becomes your only companion and the silence of the night, the witness to your weeping. You cry. You cry for the doors that did not open, for the words that wounded you, for the dreams that seemed to have disappeared over time. You cry for the yearning, the uncertainty, the exhaustion of being strong for so long. And amid those tears, you might have asked if they have any value, if they reach anywhere, or if they are just signs of a weakness you should hide. You wipe your face, take a deep breath, and put on your armor to face another day, keeping the depth of your brokenness to yourself. What I am about to show you next could transform your life because I came today to tell you the truth about your tears. They are not invisible, they are not useless, and they certainly are not a sign of weakness. In my eyes, your tears are your purest prayer, your most vulnerable worship. They are the language of a soul that still longs, still seeks, still believes, even in the midst of distress. They are a treasure to me. Every tear of yours makes a sound in the heavens. Every single one is registered, catalogued, and none is wasted. I am not a God who turns away from your weeping. On the contrary, I am the God who draws near, who bends down to collect every drop, who sits beside you in your silence and cries with you. And more than that, I am the God who takes your distress and uses it as raw material. Today, you will grasp that your greatest distress is about to become your greatest strength. I change your tears into hope. Before continuing the message, write this statement of faith in the comments. God changes my distress into a testimony. By doing this, you are giving your permission for this process of divine alchemy to commence in your life. You are declaring that your weeping is not the end of the story. Now, continuing the message, I invite you to no longer despise your tears. Honor them. They are proof of a heart that loves, feels, and lives. And a heart that lives is a heart with which I can perform my greatest wonders. My precious soul, you need to understand the first and most immediate purpose of your tears. They are my gift of cleansing for your soul. Imagine your heart as a garden. Throughout life, the dust of disappointment, the toxins of bitterness, and the debris of harsh words accumulate. If they are not cleaned, they suffocate the flowers of joy and harden the earth, preventing new seeds of hope from taking root. Your tears are the rain, a celestial rain sent by me to wash your garden. Every tear you shed is a drop of grace that softens the hardened earth of your heart. They wash away the dust of frustration. They carry away the toxins of resentment. They prepare your soil for a new planting. Holding back tears out of pride or fear of seeming weak is the most damaging act you can commit against your own spiritual health. It is like refusing to allow rain to fall on dry, cracked earth. The dryness will only increase. The hardness will only intensify. I created you with the ability to cry because I knew your walk on earth would have moments that required this deep cleansing. It is a healing mechanism that I myself installed within you. Therefore, when the urge to weep comes, do not resist it. Find a safe place, come into my presence, and allow the rain to fall. Allow the cleansing to happen. It is not an act of losing control. It is an act of wise surrender to my healing process. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, I trust in the Lord. By doing this, you are declaring that you trust this cleansing process, even if it is painful. You are stating that you believe the rain of your affliction has a redemptive purpose. It is your act of committing yourself to the care of the perfect gardener. If this message has touched your heart and you wish to support this mission, click Super Thanks and help spread words of light, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Continuing on, grasp that after this rain, your garden will not just be clean, it will be fertile. The soil that has been softened by tears is the soil most ready to receive the seeds of a new season. Your weeping is not just about the end of something, it is the preparation for the start of everything. My blessed soul, once your garden is clean and fertile, your tears assume a new function. They stop being just cleansing water and become seeds. Yes, every tear you shed in prayer, every drop of weeping that expresses a deep longing of your soul, is a seed that I collect and plant in the garden of your future. You have been weeping and sowing, even without knowing it. You cry for the restoration of your family, and every tear is a seed of reconciliation. You cry for provision amid hardship, and every tear is a seed of abundance. You cry for healing, and every tear is a seed of health and vitality. You cry for purpose, and every tear is a seed of clarity and destiny. My word says that those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy. This is not a poetic figure, it is a spiritual law. Your future harvest of joy is directly proportional to your present sowing of tears. This is why the enemy of your soul despises your tears. He tries to convince you that they are useless, so you stop sowing. He knows that every tear of yours is a threat to his kingdom of dryness and despair. I, your God, I am sending you a special sign. The sign you have been waiting for is in this verse, Psalm 126:5, which says, "Those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy." This is my guarantee to you. Your harvest is not a possibility, it is a certainty. Write in the comments, "I receive this message and I am blessed," and send love and protection to the person you love, declaring that their tears are also sowing a harvest of joy. If this message touched your heart, show your support with a super thanks and help spread this message of light. And before we proceed, let me guide you to something I have prepared to strengthen your faith even more. If you feel you need inner healing, spiritual reconnection, purpose, and prosperity aligned with my heart, there is a 31-day path waiting for you. Each day of this walk was created so I can speak to you more deeply and personally. If you wish to follow this path, the link is in the description and the first pinned comment. Now, let's continue the message. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so now. By subscribing, you position yourself to receive the instructions for your harvest. Do not undervalue your season of sowing. It may be lonely, it may be painful, but I promise you, the season of harvest will come, and it will be so abundant, so glorious, that the memory of your distress will seem light compared to the weight of the glory of your joy. My beloved soul, for this harvest to sprout without hindrance, the soil of your heart needs to be free of a particularly toxic weed, unforgiveness. You cannot expect a harvest of hope in ground poisoned by bitterness. The resentment you harbor towards the people or circumstances that caused your tears is a toxin that can kill the seeds I am planting. Forgiveness is your act of detoxification. It is your cooperation with the gardener to ensure healthy soil. To forgive is not to say that the offense was not serious. It is to refuse to allow that offense to continue to hold power over your future. It is you saying, "Your mistake caused my tears, but my tears belong to God, and I will not allow the poison of your action to contaminate the harvest He is preparing for me." It is an act of protecting your own future blessing. And the most vital forgiveness is the one you need to release toward yourself. You blame yourself for the tears, for your apparent lack of faith, for your vulnerability. You are ashamed of your own brokenness. My child, your brokenness is what has made your soil fertile. Your untouched perfection would be rocky and barren ground. Your humanity, your capacity to be wounded and to weep, is what makes you a garden where I can operate. Accept your vulnerability not as a flaw, but as your greatest qualification for my grace. Forgive yourself for not being made of stone. I created you of flesh and bone, with a heart that feels, and that is good. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you wish to forgive. Visualize each one, send them love, and say, "I forgive you and release you. May peace be with you." Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. By doing this, you are pulling out the weeds, you are protecting your sowing, you are saying yes to a pure, abundant harvest, free of any bitter taste from the past. And a clean garden is a garden where miracles grow faster. My precious soul, and how exactly do I change your tears into hope? It is a process of divine alchemy. It is not instant magic, but a work of art. The main ingredient I add to your tears is my perspective. You weep because your vision is limited to the now, to your present pain. And from this viewpoint, the situation can seem hopeless. But when you hand your tears over to me, I baptize them with my eternal vision. I show you in your spirit how this present distress is connected to a future purpose. I give you a glimpse of the tapestry from the right side, and you begin to grasp how this dark thread of your affliction is, in truth, essential to the beauty of the final design. Hope is birthed when your distress gains a purpose, and I am the master at giving purpose to everything, especially to your distress. The second ingredient is my presence. Hope cannot survive in the vacuum of loneliness. I take your tears and wrap them in my company. I assure you that you are not crying alone. I am with you, and the certainty of my presence, even if the circumstance does not change, changes everything. Your affliction, when shared with me, ceases to be an overwhelming burden and becomes a point of communion, of deep intimacy between us. Hope is renewed not because the problem disappeared, but because you know that the solver of all problems is holding your hand. The third ingredient is my promise. I water your tears with the living water of my word. For every tear of fear, I give you a promise of protection. For every tear of lack, I give you a promise of provision. For every tear of loneliness, I give you a promise of eternal companionship. My word is the substance of hope. It is the anchor for your soul. It is the truth that silences the lie of despair. Perspective, presence, and promise. These are the elements I use to change the salty water of your tears into the sweet wine of your hope. And this new wine cannot be contained in the old wineskins of your former mindset. It requires a new heart, which is being formed in you through this exact process. My blessed soul, the hope that arises from your tears is not like the fragile hope you had before. It is of a superior quality. It is a hope forged in fire, tested by the storm. Your old hope was like a paper kite, flying high on soft breezy days, but tearing in the first strong gust of wind. Your new hope is like an eagle. It does not flee from the storm. It uses the force of the opposing winds to soar even higher. Your new hope is not based on optimism, on the belief that things will just work out. It is based on my sovereignty, on the certainty that even if things do not work out the way you planned, I am good, and my plan for you is good. It is a hope that is not shaken by circumstances. Your new hope is resilient. It knows the way of the dark valley, but it also knows the faithfulness of the shepherd who never abandons you. It is no longer afraid of the darkness, because it was in the darkness that it learned to see the stars of my promise with greater clarity. And your new hope is contagious. It is not meant to be kept to yourself. Your story of transformation, of how I took your tears and changed them into a river of hope, will become your greatest testimony. You will become a purveyor of hope. You will have the authority to go to those who are drowning in their own weeping and offer them the anchor that you yourself found. Share this video with 2 dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple, "Lord, may the hope you plant in me today become a forest to shelter many," is a prayer that multiplies your miracle. What began as your silent, private weeping will become your public song of redemption, giving many others the melody to sing again. This is my plan. I don't just restore you, I commission you. I don't just cure you, I make you a healer. My precious soul, how do you live? Starting today in this new hope, your life changes. Your posture changes. You no longer walk as a victim of life, but as a co-creator with the God of hope. Your first practice is prophetic gratitude. Start thanking me, not just for what I have already done, but for the harvest you know is coming from your sowing of tears. Father, thank you for the restoration of my family, which I do not yet see, but which I know is growing. Thank you for my healing, for my provision. This anticipatory gratitude is your most powerful act of faith. It is you watering your seeds with the water of trust. Your second practice is deliberate joy. Joy is not a feeling you wait to have. It is a choice you make. Even on a day when tears may still come, choose a moment to rejoice. Put on music that lifts your spirit. Call a friend who makes you laugh. Take a walk and observe the beauty of my creation. Every act of deliberate joy is you challenging the tyranny of your distress. It is you saying, "My affliction is real, but my God is more real, and in him there is fullness of joy." Your third practice is generosity. The best way to live in hope is to sow it. Find someone who needs a word of encouragement, a gesture of kindness, a prayer. Give them what you yourself need most. By becoming a channel of my hope for others, you ensure that the source in your own life will never run dry. Gratitude, joy, and generosity. These are the disciplines of living hope. They are not a burden, but your celebration of the new life that is sprouting in you. They are your dance in the rain while you wait for the rainbow. My beloved soul, we have reached the end of our showing and the beginning of your season of harvest. The word has been released. The promise has been sealed. The process of divine alchemy in your tears has already begun. Together we saw that your tears are your prayer, your cleansing, and your sowing. We cleared the ground with forgiveness. You understood how my perspective, my presence, and my promises change your pain. And you embraced your new identity as a resilient and contagious bearer of hope. Now your weeping is no longer a sign of defeat. It is the sound of germination. It is the noise of new life breaking through the earth. For my part, I promise you your harvest will be glorious, your joy will be abundant, and your story will be an everlasting testimony to my power to change the deepest of sorrows into the most radiant of hopes. I will not waste a single tear. Your part, my child, is simply to continue believing. It is to practice your new life. It is to refuse to return to the narrative of despair. It is to walk from today on, not as one who cries, but as one whose sowing of tears is about to burst forth into a garden of miracles. Leave this meeting of ours with your heart comforted and your spirit lifted. Your season of weeping is drawing to a close. Your season of dancing is on the horizon. Your tears were the price. Your hope is the promise, and your joy will be the proof. If this message resonated with you and with your situation, write in the comments, "My hope is founded in the Lord." Your words strengthen your faith and also light the way for others who need this light. Share your experiences in the comments. And before we close, I need to guide you to something I have prepared especially for you. I have seen your search for inner healing, for spiritual reconnection, for a new purpose, and for prosperity that comes from my hands. None of this is by chance. When your heart cries out, I open pathways. That is why, through this channel, I have set before you a guided 31-day path, a process where, daily, I can speak more deeply to your spirit. This is not just an ebook. It is a road to restoration, alignment, and growth, created to strengthen your faith, renew your hope, and open doors you never imagined. If you feel this calling, access the link I have left in the description and also in the first pinned comment of this video. Begin this walk of healing, reconnection, purpose, and prosperity today. I will be with you on every page, guiding your steps and illuminating your way. If this message touched your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving my word. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.